Diesel prices are killing us, but the higher they go, kind of the scarier it gets.
Now on Midday, trips to the gas station are packing a punch. Hear how record high gas prices are impacting Utah drivers and their summer.
Plus, celebrating a construction milestone, see the progress that's been made on St. Mark's Hospital's new patient tower.
And today brings sunshine and temperatures near our seasonal averages, but as we move into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there's going to be a summer feel across the Beehive State. We'll have your forecast coming up on Midday that starts right now.
Live, we're there for you. ABC4 News Midday starts now.
Thank you for joining us for Midday. I'm Jillian Smuckler.
And I'm Jordan Burrows in for Brian Carlson.
We begin with prices at the gas pump skyrocketing right here in Utah. Right now, gas costs over $5 a gallon in 6 counties across the state. Now, not only are these record high prices having a big impact on people's daily lives, but for some, it's also canceling summer plans. And according to AAA, these prices aren't going down anytime soon. So for more on that, ABC4's Kayla Baggerly joins us live from a Maverick in Salt Lake City. And Kayla, I know you spoke with several drivers there about this. What did they tell you?
Yeah, Jillian, people are telling me that these gas prices are really painful and affecting their budgets and trips. As you can see here in this gas station in Salt Lake, it's almost $5 for a gallon of unleaded gas. And the average in Utah just hit $4.95, according to AAA. Millard, Beaver, Paiute, Garfield, Kane, and Washington counties are now seeing an average gas price over $5 a gallon. And gas prices are expected to keep going up as the price of crude oil continues to rise. Experts say the high demand and travel in the summer will also play a factor in rising prices. One driver I spoke with says the new record high gas prices are changing her usual summer plans.
Usually what we do is road trips, and so that is really kind of curtailing a lot of our plans that we're hoping to have. So we were going to go down and see some of the national parks. That may not happen this year.
It seems we won't be seeing relief anytime soon, but AAA does have some suggestions to save you money at the pump, such as making sure your car is regularly maintained and that your tires are properly inflated so your car is as efficient as possible. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Kayla Baggerly, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you very much, Kayla. New on Midday, St. Mark's Hospital is celebrating a construction milestone on its new patient tower. Today, Mountain Star healthcare workers are signing the final beam before construction crews put it in place. The new 5-floor tower includes more than 125,000 square feet of new space. It's expected to have larger rooms for patients, a new emergency room entrance, more comfortable waiting areas, and additional clinic space.
This new tower is a symbol for the community to show the growth that Mill Creek has seen, and we're really excited to just be able to serve our community even better and be here for the next 150 years as well.
The project is expected to be finished in 2023.
Now to developing news on a shooting in Salt Lake City that left 1 person dead and 2 others injured. Police got a call about a shooting last night at the Seasons at Pebble Creek Apartments near 17th South and Redwood Road. When officers arrived, they found 3 people with gunshot wounds and 1 of them died at the scene. The other 2 victims were rushed to the hospital in serious and critical condition. Now, details about the shooting are limited, but police say it all started with a fight.
We still don't know the motive to this, but we do believe that this was a very isolated incident involving people known at this particular apartment unit, and it does not appear that this was a random incident.
Police say several people involved in that shooting drove off in 2 separate cars. We're told they found both of them several blocks north of that apartment complex, but no suspects inside. Officers are now using those cars as evidence in the investigation. Now, so far, no arrests have been made, so if you have any information, call police.
A fire destroys a portable office building in Salt Lake City. The fire department tells us it happened near North Temple and 8th West a bit after midnight this morning. Details are limited, but they tell us the business there is a total loss, with damages estimated between $150,000 and $200,000. Crews got that fire under control quickly, and nobody was injured. We were looking at the scene earlier this morning when the fire flared back up. The cause of this fire is under investigation.
In an update, we're getting a closer look at the moments a man takes an Ogden police officer's gun and then fires it. In this newly released body camera video, you see those officers trying to arrest the suspect, 29-year-old Dana Smith. He's accused of punching a woman at a gas station last Sunday. Now, hear what he tells officers to do when they try to take him into custody.
I'm gonna make you shoot me. No. Yes. Why? Come on. Let's just talk. No. Just shoot me. Stop, dude. Just shoot me. Stop, please. Dude, let's talk.
Now, as you can see right there, those two officers are struggling to put Smith in handcuffs. All three of them ended up on the ground with Smith on top of one of them. Now, at one point, Smith took one of the officers' gun and shot it.
Get off it! Shots fired, shots fired.
Now, you heard those shots fired, but fortunately, no one was hurt. Officers tased Smith and took him into custody. He's now facing a long list of charges, including assaulting and disarming a police officer.
In southern Utah, firefighters are battling a brush fire. They say as temperatures are rising, so are their concerns. Crews say the 20-acre Tokerville fire is now 50% contained, and it was human-caused. Nearly 30 firefighters are battling the blaze on the ground and by air. Firefighters are saying spring rains are making their job more difficult.
We have had bigger fires this year, but with the ample amounts of grass, we are seeing bigger fires going into the month of June.
They also say monsoon rains in July could help fend off the dry conditions that help these fires get started. Fire restrictions are now in effect for parts of southern Utah. Firefighters are reminding people to be mindful of the fire risks while enjoying time outdoors. All right, let's get a check of our weather, especially these conditions in southern Utah. 100-plus degree weather. Yeah. Thomas Geboy here on Midday. Thomas, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Weather's going to be pretty hot. Any fire risk down there in southern Utah right now?
Well, we just need to be mindful of that fire risk, really just from now moving forward throughout the rest of the summertime, because it is going to be with us as we go throughout the summertime as well. Thankfully, today it doesn't look like it's going to be all that high, but we are seeing the winds picking up at least a little bit down in southern Utah, where Blanding right now has a wind gust of 24 miles per hour, and it's breezy in spots across the state, but for the most part, the wind's not going to be too bad, but that relative humidity down in southern Utah, we're seeing those values anywhere between, I would say, 15 and 25%. So again, not terrible, but as we really begin to heat things up as we go into the second half of this week, we'll be keeping a close eye on that fire risk. We're sitting at 74 degrees right now in Salt Lake City, 91 degrees in St. George, and we have mostly sunny skies across the state. It looks absolutely beautiful from Cedar City, and along the Wasatch Front looks pretty as well with ABC4 News Studios with our colonial flag. Not seeing that much of a wind here at the station, but as we go through today, we'll see a daytime high close to our average in Salt Lake City, 82 degrees, but we'll be close to 100 degrees by later this afternoon in St. George, and the temperature's only going to crank up from here, and then by Saturday, we could be talking about daytime highs near record levels. We'll have your entire forecast though coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Thomas. In Ogden, a dentist will spend 5 years in prison for not paying his federal income taxes. According to court documents, Daryl Geddes ran Mountain Ogden Dental. The Department of Justice says from 1998 to 2014, Geddes managed to avoid making income tax payments to the IRS. He's accused of filing false liens against his own properties and then filing false corporate tax returns. After prison, Geddes will be under supervision for 36 months and pay $1.8 million to the U.S. government.
Police arrest a man wanted for murdering his wife in Missouri here in Utah. Now, yesterday, 32-year-old Jacob Hodgins turned himself into police in Cedar City, where he used to live. Now, he's facing murder charges in Missouri for allegedly shooting and killing his wife. Arrest records show Hodgins' wife called police claiming her husband shot her in the chest. She was taken to the hospital, where she later died.
In Tooele County, a child from Grantsville is on life support, and his father is in jail for child abuse. According to police, the father called 911 on Friday, reporting the child was unresponsive. Officers showed up to the home and say they noticed several signs of abuse. The child was flown to Primary Children's Hospital and placed on life support. According to police, doctors say the child will likely not survive their injuries.
In Salt Lake City, police are trying to figure out if an assault over the weekend is a possible hate crime. They say this happened on Sunday near 1st West and 6th South. Police say 3 people were leaving a pride event when they noticed a man and a woman fighting. When they tried to stop the fight, the suspect allegedly punched them and started yelling homophobic slurs at them. So if you saw anything or have any information, you're asked to call police.
Now to a major drug bust in Garfield County. The The sheriff's office sharing this photo of the drugs they say are worth $250,000. Deputies say they got a call about a disturbance along Highway 12 and found one suspect trying to push a car with the other suspects inside. During a search of the car, deputies say they found a bunch of drugs, including a bag with 1,000 fentanyl pills and a weapon. Deputies arrested 2 of the suspects, taking a 3rd suspect to the hospital to be treated for health concerns. There also is a teenage suspect who was taken to a youth center in Richfield.
We're learning new information about that garbage truck ramming into several cars in Davis County. West Bountiful City Police say the truck lost control while exiting I-15 northbound. It went over the median and hit 7 cars in a restaurant parking lot. Now, fortunately, no one was inside any of those cars at the time of the crash, but as you can see right there, that truck caused major damage. A safety inspection later found that the truck's brakes gave out.
We also have new information on a drowning in Ogden. Police identified the 10-year-old victim as Grace Grenander from Pleasant View. Police say someone found her underwater in the Ogden Golf and Country Club swimming pool Friday night. Witnesses and first responders were unable to revive her with CPR. Her choir group sharing a photo of Grace and a message from her parents, saying in part, quote, "Our world is shattered, our hearts irreparably broken, our life is forever changed." The family is asking for donations to help afford funeral expenses. If you'd like to help out, the information on that is on our website, abc4.com.
In northern Utah, 2 of the most iconic warplanes in Air Force history touched down in Logan as the world marks the 78th anniversary of D-Day. It's part of the Flying Legend of Victory tour, which will stop at cities across the country this summer. Now, all this week, you can visit the Logan Cache Airport to see these planes in person. This is a way to remember the 70,000 airmen who died while on missions in these aircraft during World War II.
Important to remember so that things don't happen again. So we do this to honor the men and the women that flew these airplanes.
Now, Utah played many important roles during the war, including operations through Hill Air Force Base. But one of the most important contributions was our manpower. More than 21,000 Utahns served during World War II.
All right, still ahead on Midday, a teacher who survived the Yuvaldi school massacre speaking out about the horrifying moments a gunman opened fire, why he's criticizing law enforcement's response to the shooting.
Then Capitol Hill is preparing for the first round of public hearings in the January 6th investigation. Hear how the committee plans to make a big impact through eyewitness testimony coming up. As we head to the break, let's take a live look at downtown Salt Lake City on this Tuesday afternoon, where we got clear skies and plenty of sunshine to start the day. Stay with us. We have more Midday for you coming up next.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Thomas Keyboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
Good afternoon, Utah. I hope that you're having a terrific Tuesday so far. Weather headlines today include a near seasonal day today, but high pressure is going to be arriving for the second half of this work week. That's going to result in a mostly dry pattern. And we've been talking about it for a little while. We're going to be talking about summer-like heat for the second half of the work week. So as we look at the bigger picture with the satellite and radar, all nice and quiet across the Beehive State. Got a little bit of a ridge of high pressure that's about to move in from the west. We also have a high pressure down to our southeast. And this is really going to be keeping the desert southwest quiet for the second half of this week. Maybe by this upcoming weekend, we could see some changes Sunday into Monday, but we'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. But here's the view from Sundance, looking absolutely incredible towards Timpanogos. Still got a little bit of snow here, but maybe by the end of this week, we might not see a lot of snow up in our mountains. And here's the view from Arches National Park. Plenty of folks trying to get into the park. I could see why, but down in southern Utah where it's going to be hot and dry, just be mindful of the fire risk that is going to be sticking with us from now more or less into the summer. But as we begin our regional forecast, we'll see daytime highs today along the Wasatch Front climbing to the lower 80s, 82 degrees in Salt Lake City, just a little bit above average. Meanwhile, Brigham City, we'll see a daytime high of 79 degrees. Then as we make our way into central Utah, daytime high of 80 degrees in Nephi, 84 degrees in Emory, 87 in Richfield. Then in southern Utah, daytime highs are going to be quite toasty with 89 in Blanding, 92 in Lake Powell, and 99 degrees in St. George. And skies will be mostly sunny to partly cloudy statewide. Let's begin watching your weather for you at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And for today, again, just mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. And as we go into tonight, temperatures staying on the mild side. We'll likely see a little bit more cloud coverage for our Wednesday, but we'll crank up the temperatures by about 5 degrees in most locations. And then for Thursday, as that high pressure really establishes itself, that's where we're going to see those summer-like temperatures, even though it's already going to be feeling like summertime down in St. George, and looks like just about all the wet weather will be staying away to our east. Down in St. George, we get upper 90s for today, but for St. George, we're going to see those daytime highs likely in above the century mark for our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And for some reason, the Memorial Day graphic wanted to show up there. Don't know why that's the case, but along the Wasatch Front, we'll see lower 80s for today, upper 80s for our Wednesday, then it's low to mid 90s for our Thursday and Friday, and we could see the daytime highs in the upper 90s by Saturday before we could see some slight changes going into Sunday and Monday. But if you want to stay on top of your weather, all you have to do is download the Pinpoint Weather app. Go to the Apple App Store, Google Play, or simply scan the QR code right there on your screen.
Now to an ABC News exclusive. A teacher who survived the Yuvaldi Elementary School massacre is speaking out about the horrifying moments a gunman opened fire there.
The teacher says he's traumatized and doesn't think he can even go back into a classroom ever again. He's also criticizing law enforcement's response to the shooting. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Fourth grade teacher Arnulfo Reyes says Tuesday, May 24th began like any other day at Robb Elementary School.
It was our typical morning, and it was going to be a good day because it was going to be our day of awards.
Instead, it's a day that now marks the second deadliest elementary school shooting in U.S. history. 19 children, 2 teachers shot dead. Reyes says some students went home after that award ceremony, but 11 from his class stayed behind to watch a movie.
The kids started asking out loud, Mr. Reyes, what is going on? And I said, I don't know what's going on, but let's go ahead and get under the table. Get under the table and act like you're asleep.
The gunman entered classroom 112 at 11:33 a.m., then made his way into 111 through a connecting door. The 17-year veteran telling his story for the first time as he recovers in the hospital from multiple gunshot wounds.
I told my kids to act like they're asleep, so I'm going to act like I'm asleep also. And I prayed and prayed that I would not hear none of my students talk.
Over the next 77 minutes, there were multiple calls to 911 before Border Patrol went into the classroom and killed the gunman.
Did you feel abandoned in that moment by police, by the people who are supposed to protect you?
Absolutely. You have a bulletproof vest. I had nothing. You're supposed to protect and serve. There is no excuse for their actions, and I will never forgive them.
The Texas Department of Public Safety and Robb Elementary School did not respond to requests for comment. Reyes tells ABC he'll dedicate the rest of his life to honoring his students and colleagues who were killed and making change. When it comes to gun control, he says he's not against gun ownership, but is advocating for a higher age limit for gun purchases. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Happening now, there's growing momentum in Washington to reach a deal on gun reform. A bipartisan group of senators is under pressure to reach a compromise by the end of the week. Now, sources tell ABC News that negotiators are considering a proposal to change the criminal background check system to access juvenile records, which are often sealed. The other top proposals are strengthening background checks, incentives for states to enact red flag laws, and funding for school security and mental health.
In order to deliver results, we have to build consensus, and the best way to do that is through targeted reforms.
Now, President Biden was hoping lawmakers would go even further and bring back the assault weapons ban, or at the very least, raise the purchasing age from 18 to 21. But the vast majority of Republicans say that's a non-starter. Now, right now, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are preparing for the first round of January 6 public hearings. Now, that hearing comes as the Justice Department announced 5 members of the far-right extremist group, the Proud Boys, now face new serious charges in connection with the Capitol attack. ABC's Justin Finch explains.
Nearly a year and a half following the deadly January 6th attack, the House committee investigating the insurrection is set to release new video and new information. Appearing on CNN, Denver Riggleman, a former congressman and aide to the House Select Committee, says the information and documents the group compiled about the plot to keep Donald Trump in power will shock Americans.
I think people are going to be absolutely surprised how much was known with multiple groups.
The January 6th committee plans to call documentarian Nick Quested to testify. Quested and his film crew were embedded with the far-right extremist group the Proud Boys for months, including the day the Capitol attack ensued. Clips of Quested's footage and his first-hand account will air publicly at Thursday's hearing. An injured Capitol police officer is also expected to testify. At the heart of the hearings was the violent attack on the Capitol, a conspiracy. Committee Vice Chair and Wyoming Republican Liz Cheney on CBS News.
If you look at the court filings,
do you believe it was a conspiracy?
I do. It is extremely broad. It's extremely well organized.
In a related development, the Department of Justice announcing 5 new indictments against members of the Proud Boys, including former Chairman Enrique Tarrio on charges of seditious conspiracy, planning to violently overthrow or delay the certification of Joe Biden's presidential victory. Tarrio's attorney tells ABC News Mr. Tarrio will have his day in court and looks forward to being vindicated of these allegations. The January 6th committee can't level criminal charges, but want to make a public record of what happened leading up to, during, and after the deadly Capitol attack, and also the importance of protecting our democracy. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
We now turn to the growing debate over a 4-day work week. It sounds like a dream come true, but now it's a reality for thousands of people in the UK. A 6-month trial period has kicked off for British employees at 70 companies with no loss of pay. They'll be paid 100% of their salaries for 80% of their previous work schedule, but they've committed to doing the same work in less time.
It turns out that in virtually every industry, it's possible to do 5 days worth of work in 4, sort of without stressing people out.
Advocates say it could bridge the gap between remote work advocates and companies pushing to bring employees back to the office full-time. But some opponents say it could destabilize the economy, putting unique pressure on businesses, especially those that have slim margins. Jillian Smuckler, what do we think?
I'm here for it. I think that's so... I don't think there's any negatives. I think that people are a little bit concerned. I think it depends what job you have. But
well, people don't want to break away from the tradition of working 5 days, 40 hours
but if
a
you
week.
can get the job done in less amount of time, I'm here for it. Why not work
Why don't we just pre-record every show, get paid the same, get on our way?
We probably can't do it, but I think it's a great idea. And I think a lot of people who are burnt out, I think this will be nice for them. They might actually perform better this way.
Yeah, well, hope if it comes around here to ABC4, we'll have to let everybody know, right?
I doubt it.
All right, as we head to break, let's take a live look outside of the infamous Red Rock in St. George. More Midday after the break.
Finally on Midday, a cheesy tradition returns to a small town in the UK. Take a look at this video. Those runners, you're going to see them. They're chasing a wheel of cheese down
I think
a
it's
hill.
generous to call them runners.
I know, runners, gliders. Nothing good can come out of that, right?
There better be some pretty expensive cheese down there, that's for
If
sure.
they want their cheese, I guess it works, right?
Yeah, you win some cheese. All right, we'll brie you later. ABC 4 News at 4 o'clock.